A woman is almost never going to walk up to you and say, I'm attracted to you, go ahead and make a move. That kind of direct verbal clarity might sound nice in theory, but in reality, attraction rarely works that way. It's not loud, it's not obvious, and it's definitely not something that gets announced out in the open. Instead, attraction lives in the quiet moments. It shows up in subtle behaviors, small unconscious gestures, and tiny details that are easy to miss if you don't know what you're looking for. And this is exactly where most men fall short. Not because the opportunity wasn't there, but because they didn't recognize it when it appeared. Think about it. How many times have you walked away from an interaction and later realizing, wait, was she actually interested? That moment of doubt usually comes after the fact when it's already too late. And the truth is, the signals were probably there the entire time. You just weren't trained to see them. Here's something that changes everything once you truly understand it. Most communication between two people doesn't happen through words. In fact, the majority of emotional communication is nonverbal. That means while you're focusing on what she's saying, her body is already telling you the real story. Her hands, her posture, her eye contact, the way she moves, the way she reacts to your presence, all of it is communicating something deeper. And once you start paying attention to these things, you begin to notice patterns that were invisible to you before. The biggest misconception is that women are hard to read. They're not. When a woman is attracted to you, she actually reveals a lot. The signals are there constantly. The real issue is that most men either ignore them or misinterpret them. So let's break this down in a way that actually makes sense. One of the first and most common signals is her hair. Now, not every hair touch means something. If she casually adjusts it once, it's probably nothing. But when it becomes repetitive, when she starts playing with it while talking to you, twisting it around her fingers, flipping it, or slowly moving it to one side, that's when it becomes meaningful. Repetition is the key here. Attraction creates a kind of internal energy, a mix of excitement and nervousness. That energy needs somewhere to go, and the hands are usually the first place it shows. Her hair becomes the easiest outlet. So when you see her repeatedly interacting with her hair while engaged in conversation with you, it's not random. It's her body reacting to your presence, often without her even realizing it. Now shift your attention to her neck and collarbone area. This is one of the most powerful yet overlooked signals of all. The neck is a vulnerable part of the body. From an evolutionary perspective, exposing it signals trust and comfort. So when a woman lightly touches her neck, traces her collarbone, or subtly draws attention to that area while talking to you, it's significant. She's showing that she feels safe in your presence. She's relaxed enough to lower her guard. And at the same time, she's drawing your attention to a part of her body that naturally carries a sense of intimacy. What makes this even more interesting is that this behavior is often completely unconscious. She's not sitting there thinking, I'm going to touch my neck now. It just happens when she feels a certain way. Then there's the lips. This is where things become even more intentional. When a woman touches her lips, bites her lower lip, or slowly applies lip balm while maintaining eye contact with you, she's not just fixing her appearance. She's guiding your attention. Lips are one of the most naturally attractive features on the face. Humans are wired to notice them. So by highlighting them, she's amplifying her presence in your mind. It's a subtle but powerful way of saying, pay attention to me without using any words. Another behavior that many men overlook is when she starts playing with her jewelry. It might seem like a small, meaningless action, but it actually reveals a lot. If she's spinning her ring, touching her necklace, or adjusting her earrings repeatedly while talking to you, it's usually a sign that her emotional state has shifted. Attraction creates a kind of nervous energy inside the body, and that energy needs to be released somehow. So she channels it into small, repetitive movements. The jewelry becomes a tool for managing that internal energy, and the more frequently she does it, the more likely it is that your presence is affecting her. Now let's move into something much more direct, physical touch. This is where things become harder to misinterpret. If a woman reaches out and touches your arm, your shoulder, or your hand during a conversation, it's not random. It's intentional, even if it feels casual in the moment. Touch breaks the invisible boundary between two people. It creates a moment of connection that goes beyond words. When she does this, she's not only expressing interest, She's also testing the dynamic between you. She's seeing how you respond. And this is where many men make a mistake. They freeze. They don't react. They act like nothing happened. But that moment matters more than you think. If you acknowledge it naturally through your body language, your tone, or even a small reaction, you strengthen the connection. If you ignore it, the moment fades and the energy drops. There are also more indirect signals that can tell you a lot if you know what to look for. For example, if you're sitting across from her and she starts playing with a glass or a cup, running her finger around the rim, tracing its edges, or slowly moving her hand along it, it's not just random behavior. This is often a form of projection. She's channeling her attention and energy into an object because expressing it directly toward you might feel too forward in that moment. It's a subtle way of expressing interest without making it obvious. Another important detail is how she adjusts her appearance around you. If she starts fixing her clothes, smoothing her outfit, or making small adjustments after noticing you, it's not just about looking presentable. It's targeted. She wants to look her best, specifically for you. That shift in behavior only happens when she cares about how you see her. It shows that your attention matters to her. Now here's something that most men get completely wrong. When a woman rests her chin on her hand or gently touches her face while listening to you, many assume she's bored or losing interest. But in many cases, it actually means the opposite. This kind of posture often appears when she's comfortable, relaxed, and fully engaged in the interaction. It's a softer, more intimate form of attention. She's focused on you, she's present, and she feels safe enough to be in that relaxed state. It's not boredom, it's comfort. The biggest mistake you can make is looking at a single signal and jumping to conclusions. Attraction doesn't work in isolated moments. It works in patterns. One gesture alone might not mean anything, but when you start seeing multiple signals together, repetition, consistency, and timing, that's when the meaning becomes clear. Attraction doesn't shout, it whispers. And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. Most men are taught to wait for clear verbal confirmation. But the reality is, attraction rarely speaks that way. The body communicates first, and it often communicates more honestly than words ever could. So the next time you're in a conversation with a woman, shift your focus. Don't just listen to what she says. Observe how she behaves. Notice the small details. Notice the patterns, because those patterns are telling you everything you need to know. And once you start recognizing those signals, something powerful happens. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop overthinking. You start understanding what's actually happening in real time, and that's where real confidence comes from. Not from pretending, not from forcing anything, but from awareness. So when you notice these signs, when you see her playing with her hair, touching her neck, highlighting her lips, fidgeting with her jewelry, or even initiating small moments of physical contact, don't ignore them. Don't freeze, don't hesitate. Respond naturally. Match the energy. Engage with the moment. Because if she's showing you these signals, she's already leaning toward you in her own way. She's already creating an opening, even if it's subtle. And your job is not to overanalyze it or complicate it. Your job is simply to notice it, understand it, and meet her halfway. Because at the end of the day, attraction is not about perfect words or perfect timing. It's about awareness, presence, and the ability to read what's right in front of you. And once you develop that awareness, you stop missing opportunities. You start recognizing them.